Tim, welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Audemars Piguet Edouard Piguet Tourbillon. You can see this 18 karat white gold tourbillon on our website, purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our channel. You can also click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this oversized white gold mother-of-pearl dialed grand complication has the elegance of a vaulted suspension bridge and the solidity of a Brinks truck. Quite simply, this watch is a strange dichotomy, but a wonderful one, combining gorgeous fluted flanks with an almost ethereal dial, motionworks suspended above that multichromatic mother-of-pearl dial just atop the tourbillon. Now in terms of fit, let me first say that this watch is quite a bit bigger than a conventional Edouard Piguet. From lug to lug, the watch actually measures 51.5 millimeters, so it has good span across the wrist. Now, you could wear this watch securely on a wrist down to about 15, perhaps 14.5 centimeters in circumference, but what really sets this particular model apart within the Edouard Piguet family is that it's large enough to handle big wrists. Typically, these watches are small, some might even say undersized. No such problem here, as you can say this watch has incredible presence, and that's just its physical size. The drama of it makes it appear even larger. Now, in terms of thickness, it's actually quite becoming of a dress reference. It's thinner than it looks, only 12.5 millimeters high above the wrist. It also has those fluted flanks that actually allow a dress sleeve or a tight cuff to get a nice running start ramping up and over this watch. Now the watch itself features a horizontal measurement of approximately 34.5 millimeters, not including the crown. That's the measurement from 3 to 9 o'clock. Now on the wrist, you're not going to forget that you're wearing a grand complication or a precious metal watch, because with a ton of white gold and a very meaty full width strap, this timepiece has as much mass as it has class. Now you'll note that the alligator leather strap is a matte finish. This is a deliberate decision on the part of Audemars Piguet to keep the strap low profile, nicely paired in terms of proportions, but definitely secondary to the main event, which is the dial of the watch. You'll see that the watch has a nice width to the strap, and that's a good thing, because too many wide watches have undersized straps that allow the watch to torque side to side on the wrist. No such problem here. You'll also note just how well bolstered the strap is. Very substantial. This is like a substantial piece of steak binding a real gem to your wrist. It's meaty, it's satisfying, and it has tremendous panache. And it's paired with a beautiful, full polish, AP inset logo, single fold, white gold Audemars Piguet deployant buckle. On a watch this valuable and this heavy, you want a deployant, not a pin buckle, to prevent accidental drops when you're putting the watch on or taking it off. And with an original retail of just over $200,000, you'll appreciate that extra measure of security. Now the watch is handsome and striking and a little bit of an occasion in and of itself, and that's because the Audemars Piguet caliber 2883, effectively part of the third generation Audemars Piguet tourbillon family, really is the heart of the watch and the heart of the dial. Now you can see a bridge bearing the motion works just above the tourbillon at 6 o'clock. You'll note just how much of the motion works itself is visible. Now the motion works drives the hands. You can see the minute wheel pinion, you can see the minute wheel driving the hour wheel, and then just above it, you can see two gorgeous 18 karat white gold foy or leaf style hands. Now there's a mustache tourbillon bridge at 6 o'clock, and the mustache bridge is immensely beautiful. Finished down to the micro level, this watch holds up under 20 power loop examination, and if you do look, you'll also note that the balance itself is bounced back and forth and actually preserved in its chronometric precision by a Breguet overcoil hairspring. So the alternations, thanks to the more concentric beating of the Breguet overcoil hairspring, the alternations are less subject to the effects of gravity, which is to say that really no matter what position you leave this watch on your dresser or whatever position it assumes on the wrist, thanks to that Breguet overcoil, it really is going to preserve a great deal of the original mission of a tourbillon, which is after all chronometric precision. The watch is as dramatic on its caseback as it is on its dial. Now you can see that the watch is in some ways very traditional, with a 21,600 vibration per hour tourbillon The watch actually has an immense mainspring barrel that permits 3 days or 72 hours of autonomy in between windings. Now, I don't know why you wouldn't want to wind this watch daily, but the bottom line is if you do have a little bit of a rotation of watches, this is a watch you can avoid winding more than every third day. You'll also note just how traditional the architecture is, with the power flowing down from the mainspring barrel after it comes in via the crown wheel through a traditional center wheel and an oversized drivetrain that propels the tourbillon cage. This is a watch that's handsome. This is a watch that is dramatic. This is a watch that is immensely masculine. And with the exceptional and explosive effect of the mother of pearl dial, it's a watch that never looks the same in any two glances. This is a watch that, quite frankly, is beginning to explode and unlock its charisma in the light of my light box. Taken into the direct sun of broad daylight, it's a watch that has a presence that's simply second to none.